One of the most common diseases that people get that affects their vision is glaucoma. It's this disease where the pressure inside the eye builds up and damages the nerve, and it can actually lead to blindness, although it can be prevented. And one of the main ways that people treat glaucoma and prevent blindness is by using eye drops. And people who have glaucoma may be on an eye drop that they use once a day, or they may be on an eye drop they use twice or 3 times a day, or they're on 2 different kinds of eye drops. There's a lot of different medications that people use for glaucoma, and some of them are more toxic to the surface of the eye than others. So it's especially the preservatives in these eye drops that actually cause the problems. They lead to something called dry eye syndrome. They're actually, over time, very gradually damaging the surface of the eye, and it's getting drier and more irritated. And you may know people who have this problem, whether or not they use glaucoma eye drops. Sometimes people just get dry eye because they get it. Some people have autoimmune diseases. There's one called Sjogren's syndrome that leads to severely dry eye. We have a lot of different ways to treat dry eye, mostly involving lubricants, putting artificial tears, especially preservative-free artificial tears, which avoid the problem of putting even more preservatives on the eye. So artificial tears are really important for people who have dry eye and also for people who have glaucoma to help replenish the tear film and keep their eye healthy as they're bombarding it with chemicals to try to control the pressure. Sometimes the glaucoma is so advanced, or the drops aren't working, or the side effects are too bad, and so people will have surgery for glaucoma. And one of the big advances that's taking place right now in the field of glaucoma is smaller and smaller devices to help to control the pressure. It used to be that we would sort of make a channel in the eye and make a big opening and drain out the fluid under a protective layer of tissue so it would form a bubble on the surface of the eye. But that operation has a lot of problems. It's uncomfortable, and you can actually cause more harm than good. There are also other implants with a tube that goes into the eye that drains out the fluid, but those are big and cumbersome, and they can cause problems too. Now we're in a new era where we're looking at micro devices for glaucoma, really, really tiny. You look at one of these on a penny and it's like the size of Lincoln's chin. That's how small it is. And these can be implanted inside the eye with just minimal damage. Nothing really dramatic happens. You may not even know it's in there, and it can be done at the same time as cataract surgery. And in the US, that's what it's approved for, doing it at the same time as you're having your cataract surgery. It's interesting that cataract surgery itself will usually reduce the pressure some, but if you have glaucoma, maybe it's a good idea to also have a device that's specially designed to help reduce the pressure further. And there's some companies working in this space. One is a company called Glaucoma, and their display is right over here in the exhibit hall. There are other companies too. There's one called Transcend that has a little soda straw that's put inside the eye that can reduce the pressure. And there's others called Aquasys and Ivantis. There's a lot of interest in this area right now. In fact, some of these companies just last week raised combined over $100 million to pursue their research projects and get into clinical trials so that the FDA can evaluate the safety and effectiveness of these devices. But this is a real revolution in glaucoma care. These devices do have one downside, which is they may not lower the pressure as much as the traditional surgery. So some people may still need to be on 1 drop a day, but overall they're much better on the safety side, much lower risk than the older operations that we used to do. Thank you so much for joining us on Mark Packer, MD Vision Quest, bringing you the best in high-tech and high-touch in the world of cataract surgery. Things are winding down here now at the Royal Hawaiian Eye Meeting. You can see these booths behind me are quiet, and people are either heading to the beach or heading to the airport, which I got to go catch my flight. See you next time on Mark Packer, MD Vision Quest.